What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another Classic WoW video for the Cataclysm Classic pre-patch. Now today I want to talk about archaeology in Cataclysm Classic, and over the last 4 days I have been doing over 40 hours of archaeology live on Twitch, which you can find a link to my Twitch in the description down below. I'm streaming pretty much every single day, we're farming a bunch of archaeology, and during that time I've gotten some questions, most of which led me to make this video, clarify everything, and not only questions, but I've heard people say things about archaeology that may not be true based on what they have seen from other videos and other guides out there. So there are a lot of theories being thrown around for archaeology and a lot of numbers being thrown around as well. I will also throw around some stuff in this video based on my knowledge and my experiments and my testing, but I want this to be a all-in-one type of video for archaeology. It's a guide plus some actual stuff as well that you can do to improve your chances to get epics, for example. And yeah, just everything that I know about archaeology in one place that hopefully could be helpful to you guys as well. Now, a lot of people are farming archaeology in the pre-patch, and the main reasoning why is that we can get the level 85 bound on account epics right now in the pre-patch. This has been confirmed, you can get every single one. You have the staff, this one right here, the Staff of Sorceress Thane Thracian from Dwarf. From Fossil we have a shield, this one right here, level 85 epic once again. You also have the mount, you can get that one as well, obviously. From Night Elf we have a trinket, Tyranda's favorite doll, a healer trinket, but even casters can use this one for the intellect and to pad item levels. And from Trolls we have the Sin Rock Destroyer of Worlds. Now all of these are confirmed to drop in the pre-patch, you can get them. I want to say that in order to get epics you have to have 450 item level, that is for the level 85 epics. The Fossil Raptor mount you can get from 150, I think it is, but to get the high level epics you have to be 450. This will play a part later in the video. So aside from that, you also get a bunch of pets, mounts, toys and stuff from archaeology as well. Now the way archaeology works is you look for dig sites on your map, you fly to them and you dig, and you listen to music, watch Netflix or Twitch while doing so you don't go absolutely insane, and you hope to get something good before going insane. That's basically what you do with archaeology. It's really simple, it's really boring and really simple, and the rewards are really good, so you have a big incentive to actually do it as well during the pre-patch. Now let's talk about some other stuff apart from that, because that's like what you should be doing baseline for archaeology, that's why you're doing it, the rewards from it. Now apart from that, there's a couple of add-ons that I recommend having. Number one is minimal archaeology, literally minimal archaeology right here, that's what it says, and that is the window you can see on my right side. This will help you keep track of how many artifacts you have in a neat little screen, and you can even click solve from this screen, never having to open your archaeology page. In addition to that, you can open up, so you can always have a waypoint to the nearest dig site by using this as well, while having TomTom, so you need to have TomTom to get this arrow. In this case, you literally fly from arrow to arrow every single time. You can also click to open dig sites to get a specific waypoint to a specific website as well, plus you can see which websites are currently open to you, and you can go over to your history to see what you have been creating. So opening history, you can see exactly what you have been making. Now obviously I have not made anything yet on this character, and that is because you want to farm your first 50 skills without solving anything. This is also my archaeologist number 2, which I'll get into in just a little bit. Now you want to first of all get your first 50 skills without solving anything. After that you start solving. Now this is where you can do a couple of different things. You can either keep farming in one single zone, whichever zone you want to farm in, based on the epics you want to get. Now I will tell you this, and I've been doing some research here. Whenever you are doing archaeology, your first 10 crafts usually either guarantees a rare or has a much higher chance to get a rare as well. And whenever looking at the history, when you're first starting crafting, you will not get many duplicates, and you will get a lot of rares. For example, I can go over to my other archaeologist, but I can tell you that for fossils, I got the raptor and 2 of these pets in the same time that I got all of these grey items the first time. Now, I have not gotten the Pterodax hatchling or the raptor, or the shield I mean, in the subsequent 70 crafts. when you start getting duplicates. So I got 3 rares in my first 30 crafts or my first 25 crafts, and then in the next 70 crafts I did not get a single rare. And you can say that is all RNG, but the same thing happened to me on Dwarf, and the same thing happened to me on Troll as well. I got these 2 rares, the Dwarf Drum and the Voodoo figurine, by the time that I had gotten these ones, like these grey ones, once. Because when you first start out, I can tell you this, you will get very few duplicates until you've crafted everything you can craft when it comes to the commons. So when you have crafted every common once, you will start getting duplicates like crazy, and you will get some duplicates from the start, but not a lot, and the chance of getting duplicates is way less. And while you're crafting everything for the first time, you have a couple of, they feel like fail-safes to make sure you get your dopamine hit or you get a rare really early. And once again, just try it for yourself, make a new archaeologist or something, and try to do 10 solves for a certain faction. Do 10 solves for a night elf, I call them solvings, like you solve something. Complete 10 artifacts for night elf for the first time, and tell me if you get a rare. Do the same thing for Fossil, complete 10 artifacts for Fossil, and tell me if you get a rare. Now, here's the thing, you would want to use that failsafe when you can get these epics. Referring to what I talked about earlier in this video, the epics requires 450. So the reason why I'm using a second archaeologist right now is that I am only going to be skilling up from night elves and fossils all the way to 300, and then go to Outland. So I am not going to have crafted a single dwarf or troll artifact until I get to max level. And that way, every single time that I hit one of those rares for either troll or dwarf, which they are basically guaranteed, it feels like, in the first 10 craft or the first 15 craft, and you seem to have a failsafe while you're doing every single craft for the first time, so you get more rares at the beginning, and then you start just getting way and way and way less after a while, and then it just becomes RNG. So while you have those failsafes, you want to be able to get those epics in those failsafes. The Sin Rock, for example, the 2-handed sword, and the Dwarf Staff as well. Now, I have seen some guides out there telling you that the sword has a 7% chance to drop every single time you solve a like troll artifact. If anyone believes that, I don't know what to tell you. It's 1%, if not even less. Like, 7% is a crazy number to throw out there, and I have no idea where this person got this from, but there's a guide out there telling you that this sword has a 7% drop chance. Like, 7% chance whenever you solve a troll object. That is crazy to me. But if you want to have a higher chance to get them, you can use those failsafes, and make sure to be able to get the epics during those failsafes. Now, once again, I've been doing 40 hours of archaeology the last 4 days on stream, and even though this is only my second archaeologist myself, I have been talking about this idea on stream, and of the 10 people that I've been following up with this idea, all 10 of them got their first rare on their first 10 crafts for the faction that they kept track of. And out of those 10 people, 2 people got Sin Rock on their first craft. I just want to put that out there, like their first rare. So in their first 10 crafts on Troll, they got Sin Rock after talking about this idea. So it could be RNG, in which case we have insane RNG, but for me it just feels like after talking to 10 people about it, and all 10 people got their failsafe mechanics basically when crafting, it feels like there's a failsafe where it guarantees you to get a rare in your first X amount of crafts. I don't know if it's the first 10, but I'm just throwing that number out there. Could be the first 15. So the TLDR is you want to skill up without crafting a single artifact for the epic you want to get. So if you want to get the sword, skill up archaeology without solving a single troll. That way you will use literally all your failsafes for troll to try to get the sword, because then the sword will be in the loot table every single time you get a rare. So if you want the sword, just don't solve a single troll artifact until you have 450 skill, and the best way to do that is just to go to Kalimdor, farm in Kalimdor, because that way you get Night Elf and Fossil like I have right now. With 46 skill, I only have Night Elf and Fossil, and I'm about to go and train and skill up in solving very soon, and at 300 go to Outland and stay in Outland until 450, and after that you go back and you start farming troll, and then you solve at 450. Giving you a much higher chance at getting the sword. Once again, it's not confirmed, and it will not guarantee you the sword at all. It will just give you a massively increased chance, and once again, out of the 10 people that I kept up with, 2 of them got the sword on their first guaranteed rare, which was in their first 10 crafts, which is absolutely mental, because I have so far spent 150 crafts for troll, and I have not gotten the sword yet. On my main archaeologist, after 150 artifacts, I still don't have the sword, and I know people that have over 300 artifacts and they still don't have the troll, like they still don't have the sword, so there we go. Now, 2 more things about archaeology. Number 1 is that before Cataclysm comes out, try to cap yourself on 200 fragments for every single faction. 200 fragments is the cap, and that way, whenever Cataclysm comes out, you can instantly get to 525 skill in archaeology as well, unlocking the best craft you can have in Cataclysm. Plus, it used to give experience back in the day. I don't know if that was only the surveying or the solving, but if solving happens to give experience in Cataclysm, well, you can get experience from it as well, but it's mainly just to like get those skill points right off the bat. Now, another thing that you really want to do, this is like super min-max by the way, but you can start solving every single kind of artifact that you no longer need. For example, if you want to have Tol'vir artifacts in Cataclysm, the Uldum one, well, they spawn in Uldum, and you really want to have those in Cataclysm for archaeology. If you want to have Sandstorm Drake, for example, a Sandstone Drake, for example, that's from Tol'vir, and they also come out with a level 85 ring from Tol'vir, and you also have the one-handed sword from Tol'vir that we can take a look at in just a little bit. But the thing is, when you completely, like when you make everything for a certain faction, it will start spawning drastically less of that dig site. So for example, in Kalimdor you get a bunch of Night Elf dig sites and a bunch of Fossil dig sites. If you want to increase your chance of getting Tol'vir dig sites in Cataclysm, you want to make every single Night Elf artifact you can, and every single Fossil artifact you can. And here are some stats from Wowhead, from someone who did this back in the day, where they're showing you the increase and the increased effect. So before, they used to get 50% Night Elf and 4% Dwarf, and I hated getting all those Night Elf fragments, but eventually it paid off with the Tyrannus Doll and all the other Night Elf rares. Since then I have continued the same strategy, but following different results, because Blizzard say when you get all the rares of one type, you should get fewer of the dig sites now. So he went from getting 50% Night Elf by recording 784 artifacts to getting 23% Night Elf, and you can also see that meant that he went from 17% Tol'vir to 33% Tol'vir. So you're doubling your Tol'vir gains, and you're getting way less Night Elves by capping your Night Elves. If you want to take this one step even further, you also want to cap out the Dwarf, you want to cap out Fossil, and you want to cap out Troll, and you want to cap out Night Elf. So you want to cap out all of them by making literally everything. So taking away this image, that will mean you have to make everything, including the commons, the rares, the epics. For pretty much like Troll, for example, you have Sin Rock, you have the Haunted War Drum, and the Widow figurine. For Night Elf you have a lot more, you have 7 from Night Elf that you would have to make, like all of these you would have to make to get way less Night Elves. And then going over to Fossil you have only 5, but like that's a lot as well. And from Dwarf you have 4. So you want to complete all of those to increase your odds at getting Tol'vir fragments in Cataclysm, and that's a comment from Cataclysm. So assuming Blizzard makes no changes here, that is how it should work in Cataclysm as well. And the thing is, if you're a gold maker, for example, this is going to be huge for you, because you can get those sandstone drakes way faster, and you can also get Tol'vir hieroglyphics, which are the green items for Tol'vir specifically. Going over to Fairheim, for example, my other archaeologist, these are those types of greens. Though you can get these, but for Tol'vir, and they sell for hundreds of gold in Cataclysm, because everyone wants them to be able to complete their Tol'vir artifact. In some cases, I can see them selling for thousands of gold. So by doing this, it's super min-max, but you make a lot more gold from archaeology by doing this. Once again, you would have to max out pretty much everything to have the highest chance possible to get Tol'vir dig sites in Cataclysm. Now, we have talked about pretty much everything so far, but two more quick things is number one, you can track dig sites by using tracking and then tracking it on your minimap. So tracking dig sites shows you the edge of everything, like every edge of tracks, the digging site on the minimap. And also by using Gathermate, which I'm not using, but it's really good, you can see where the objects you have gathered in the past are. So if a light is showing you towards an object and you know where it is, you can just go to that object. Then the guessing work is basically taken out. You can even import from Wowhead to get the nodes from Wowhead on Gathermate as well. Or you can just record it from yourself and just farm yourself, and then over time you will start knowing where pretty much all of the objects are all the time. Either way, I think that's pretty much everything I'm gonna know about archaeology, both from now and from back in Cataclysm. In Cataclysm, I had every single epic except for one. So I've been doing archaeology back in the day, and I've been doing it now as well. I feel like I know a little bit, and some of it is theory crafting, but so far we have had some great results based on that theory crafting, and I'm even testing it myself. Once again, this is my second archaeologist, and I'm only going to be skilling up through Night Elf, Fossil and Outland, and try to guarantee myself, or semi-guarantee myself, a Troll or Dwarf epic. And if you want to see how that goes, well, tune into my stream today or tomorrow, and I'll update you guys on the results. So hopefully that told you pretty much everything you want to know about archaeology in the pre-patch, and yeah, that's it. Happy farming. I think archaeology farming in the pre-patch is really good, and it's a smart choice, but it does take some time, so be patient and find, if you have two screens, it's the perfect activity to do while watching something on the second screen. Either way, if you enjoyed the video, take the time to leave a like, it really helps me out and I really appreciate it. If you want to make more gold in Cataclysm, check out my gold making guide through the link down below. Supporting me by getting that guide really helps me out, by the way, so if you do that, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, and either way, I appreciate you for watching this video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one very soon.